So I just watched Halloween Ends, the final installment to the newest trilogy, and the final battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. But did it live up to the hype? Before I get this review started, make sure you're joining us down in the comments and let me know what your thoughts are on Halloween Ends. Now, I'm going to start out by saying right out of the gate, this movie was not good. It really wasn't. I'm so incredibly disappointed with this movie. I had such high expectations, but it's not to say that there weren't some good points to the movie. It's just, as a whole, it didn't work. This is one of those movies where all the best parts of it were in the trailer. So if you enjoy the trailer, you should probably just leave it at that. This movie felt so disconnected from the first two. The first two, in my eyes, were just one big movie, and they cut it down the middle to split it off into two films. It picked up from the exact same night, the exact same house, the exact same scenario, and it just felt like it all flowed together. Now, this one picks up 4 years later and is just a total disconnect from that. Now, I do want to mention a couple good points first before I go ranting on all the bad things. And for the record, this is a spoiler-free review, so don't worry about that. I will be doing a spoiler-filled review next because there's a lot of stuff I need to get off my chest. But some good things are Laurie Strode herself. Now, this is one that I was upset about in the last film because she wasn't in it much. She was sidelined in the hospital the entire movie. You only saw a little bit of her, and you didn't really see much of her and Michael interacting. This one, I love Laurie's character. Unlike the other two, where she was panicked and frantic and just a little bit crazed out, this one, she's recovering from all the things that have happened 4 years ago, or pretty much her entire life for that matter. And she's more composed. She's writing a memoir, she's healing, and her granddaughter's living with her after her daughter had died, and they're just trying to put their life back together. Now, that being said, I have some of the same issues with this movie as I had with Halloween Kills, in the essence of now it seems like Michael Myers has been sidelined, and the whole thing is more Laurie and her healing. So, unfortunately, I wanted so much of Laurie Strode and Michael Myers interacting and battling it out for the final finale, and I got this much of Michael Myers. Like, he had a couple cameo shots in the film, and then, oh, we'll give them to you for a good solid 10 or 15 minutes at the end. What? Honestly, the whole synopsis behind this thing is supposed to be, the final battle, but it's not. The whole thing is really Laurie Strode's granddaughter, who is dating this new kid who we don't know who this guy is. He's a total new character, but the entire movie is about her and this new guy she's dating, who turns out to be a whack job himself. So Corey, who is the guy she's dating, this whole movie is more about him than it is Michael and Laurie. But I am going to digress for a minute because I already see myself going on a rant. But there are some other good factors in this film. Like, again, Laurie and the way her granddaughter are interacting, I do like that. It's her healing, but her granddaughter's healing as well, and that moving forward. But the chemistry between them is really, really good. And I also love the cinematography in this. I mean, David Gordon Green, he really has a great eye for the dramatic and the way to just bring that scene to life and make you feel something for it. And I did get that in here, and I love the way the film was done. I just have a hard time calling this a Halloween movie. A Halloween movie involves Michael Myers killing lots of people, lots of bloodshed, big body count, and Laurie Strode running from him and fighting him off through the entire movie, and none of that happened. The body count was minuscule at best. The blood was decent, I guess. It was okay. Wasn't fascinated with it. And Michael Myers himself, this is not the same Michael Myers that we saw in the first two films. The first two films, he's pure evil. He's got superhuman strength. He's been shot, stabbed, beaten with bricks. I mean, he's been pummeled, and he gets back up and fights people off and basically kills half the town. This is not that same Michael Myers. Michael Myers in this movie completely seemed like an afterthought. Now, I did hear that some people liked the beginning of the film, and then there was like this huge dead spot, and then we got some really good action at the end. Possibly. I mean, the beginning was okay. I'm like, all right, I guess we're going to set up the story for this Corey character. And then it's like 15 minutes into the movie, complete snooze fest. It was just boring until we got to like the last 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. Or I say the last 20 minutes of the film. And then I'm like, all right, now I'm getting interested. But by now it's already too late. The movie's almost 2 hours long, and I'm getting 15 to 20 minutes worth of interest out of it. Funny thing is, I was processing this movie all day before filming this review, and it just made me more angry the more I thought about it. I'd never been so pissed off at a movie. I can appreciate the thought process on where they were going with the story, but the execution was horrible. It didn't work. I think it just really pulled down to the writing, and the script in this movie was just trash. It was a total dumpster fire. Now I'm going to go more in depth and detail of what I'm talking about here in a spoiler review, because I can't really say a whole lot without spoiling the movie, and I don't want to spoil the movie if you haven't seen it yet. But I will say, for me, this was more of a romantic thriller with some cameos of Michael Myers. That's the best way I can say it, because you barely see him in this film. Make sure you leave your comments down below what you thought of Halloween Ends. Please drop a like on the video for me on your way out, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you at the concession stands.